Welcome to The Mental Fight, a safe place to ignite hope and peace, where we talk all about our feelings, even in the depths of life's curveballs. Regardless of the season you are in, you are worthy, safe, heard, and loved. Together and with God, we can overcome and embrace our next joyful steps. One day at a time. Let's get started. Hi, friend. Thank you so much for being here today. It really makes me so happy that you guys are tuning in and listening. And I just want to say, if you've been loving any of the episodes, would you please head over and give a 5-star review? It's free and that will really just help so much and will help reach more people. So thank you again. Today, we are diving into something I've been wanting to talk about, and that is sensitivity or highly sensitive people. So, if you've ever wondered, why am I so sensitive? Maybe I have a lot of feelings or emotions, and maybe you think to yourself, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel things so deeply? And I want you to know that you're not alone and you are not broken and you are in the right place. Now, again, I'm not a counselor, but I am an advocate here with you in the fight. So today we are flipping the narrative that is in your head that being sensitive is a bad thing or it's a weakness, because it's really not. And I know there's perks and I know there's downfalls, plenty of downfalls actually, but I want you to know that we are all different. We all process things differently and feel different emotions. And that's something to be aware of. So even if you are not a sensitive person, maybe still listen to this episode. You might learn a thing or two, or maybe know how to navigate someone else that's in your life that has sensitivities. Going back to flipping the narrative that's in our heads, I know that is so true for me. Growing up, I wanted to hide myself, quite literally hide myself, but also hide myself from others. I know I would get too excited or just more excited than other people or too emotional, or I felt like I had to hide myself or, hide that compassion that I feel towards others. And I always felt less than. When people would call me sensitive, it was instantly a bad thing in my mind and heart. And it kind of was at the time. And I think it mostly did have a negative connotation. You are less than, something is wrong with you, or I am weak, I am different. Or maybe I am the wrong one or the odd one, or maybe I do need to change. Those are all valid things that I felt, and I'm sure many of you feel as well. If not in the past, maybe now. By other people, things that were said to you, or just things that you believe on your own. I remember that someone told me once that they felt sorry for me for having a different view or a different opinion on life in general. And this was a while ago, but it stuck with me. And I'm not sure exactly how it got brought up, but that's pretty much how it went. And that is never fun or easy to hear. And instantly I knew that wasn't true, but just because someone says that over you or has a certain authority over you, like that doesn't make it true either. There can be a lot of gray area. Like it's not just black and white, but words do hurt. And especially for us, But here's the good thing: God created you and designed you for a reason. And we all have different gifts. And honestly, being a sensitive person or a highly sensitive person can be one of the greatest gifts. I remember when I first heard about the HSP thing years ago, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's me. And I'm pretty sure I am. But despite all of that and, researching and, talking with others, I do think it's a good thing. And I don't think there's anything wrong with you either. Despite the lies that, we've been told or things we've believed before, despite everything that we were taught, despite the norm or the majority, maybe somewhere along the way, you too equated sensitive for being less than or weak, like I mentioned before. Maybe you love and care a little too much sometimes, or that feeling that you just feel every emotion a little bit deeper. It's kind of hard to explain, but that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Now, we all have our faults, obviously, but if this sounds like you, here's your permission to remind yourself you are not weak. And you don't have to shut parts of yourself down. Don't shrink yourself. Maybe since you are sensitive, maybe you are creative. Maybe you have that creative brain and you stop and smell the roses or look outside when you take a walk and just think how beautiful the sky looks. Like maybe you notice the little things and you just can't help but stare sometimes and just feel joyful. The little things make you so joyful. You see beauty that others may not see all the time. So, as much as you feel love, the flip side of that is that you may feel even that much more pain. You just feel it. And again, I truly think that God made us all on purpose. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. We just have to learn how to manage things better and our emotions better. From our heads to our toes, to our feelings, to our desires and personalities, like it's not an accident and you are not a mistake. So I want you to take that burden off of yourself. If you have thought any of those lies, or if you think being sensitive is a bad thing, the wrong thing, the unpopular thing, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Again, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And again, I am here with you in the fight, and I want you to know that you are not alone. God sees all of it. Being naturally more sensitive, is good and has perks, but, like I said, it has downfalls. The downfalls are that you may feel very overwhelmed. You may overthink or overanalyze. Like you may feel physically hurt when emotions get the best of you and you feel sad and left out and left behind and confused. It's confusing feeling all the things. And you may hold on to things a little too long or a little too closely because they're important to you. Like you may carry a lot inside, and it's like a whole lot of emotion trapped inside sometimes. And if you are going through especially a hard time, or, going through a lot of anxiety or a lot on your plate, like it can feel like a burden. It can totally feel like a burden. Like you may think, why, God? Like, why did you make me like this? Why can't I care less? Why can't I feel a little bit more normal? Or why can't I get over this? Why can't I get over things as easily as others? But instead of asking, like, what's my problem and why can't I get over this thing? Or how can the pain ease? Or how am I supposed to act? Like, what is normal versus not normal? And what is normal to begin with? But first, you know, go to God with your problems first. Go to Him with your worries and your emotions, your big emotions. You can always bring your big feelings to God, and you should bring them to God first. Like you can come to Him anytime, anywhere, even when you feel vulnerable, or especially when you feel vulnerable. Simply allowing ourselves to feel emotions as they come also helps so they don't get trapped and bottled in, which can cause other issues. And also know that there's a time and place, for everything. Like sometimes you have to hold things in if it's not like a safe person or a safe place. And again, I think if you are struggling, like definitely seek help with that. But also know that people won't quite understand where you're coming from all the time. They may ask, like, what's your problem? Or I don't get you, or I don't understand you, or why do you feel the things you do, or do the things you do? Like people will always think differently. We all think differently and we all act differently. We all have a range of emotion. Like no two people think the same or feel the same, quite the same way. So, we're all different and we all bring different gifts to the table. And, people may not understand, but they don't really need to. Like, that's okay. Not everyone will understand or understand, your feelings. So, if you're struggling, allow yourself to rest, allow yourself to breathe, and allow yourself to accept yourself and the truth. Like, only God knows what's in your heart and what you're going through and the feelings that you feel. So So yeah, go to him. Go to him first. Like pray about it. Let it all out to him. You don't have to pretend to be liked. Like you don't have to fit in or change yourself because people closest to you may be different. Because when you try to fit in with others, that's another thing. Like, I feel like you're really just turning into someone other than yourself, essentially. Like, you can mold yourself into other people. And I think that you should be the person that God created you to be as best you can. It's not always easy, but we're called differently. And I used to think, if only I was X, Y, and Z, like if only I was more outgoing in certain situations, or more fun, or less in my head, or less health issues, or whatever it be, like then I could fit in more. And then I could be normal or feel normal, whatever that is. But maybe we weren't meant to fit in, especially with the wrong people. Like the more we try to fit in, the more pressure we put on ourselves, and it just builds and piles, and we feel overwhelmed. And that's when we feel drained and we can't keep up. And it's exhausting to try to be someone other than ourselves, other than what we are naturally. So I think fitting in can be a good thing, but like anything, it can definitely have drawbacks. And I see things differently now. It's important to have people in your life, but it's also important to be yourself. So don't apologize for being you, for having deep thoughts, for wanting deep conversation sometimes, for being nice, or for being understanding, or for being able to understand both sides of the coin. Maybe you're not the wrong one after all. Maybe you're not the one who others feel sorry for. Like maybe that is in your head. And maybe you are not the one who needs to change. Maybe they need to change too. I mean, I feel like we put so much blame on ourselves because people just assume things. And again, maybe it's time to release shame. Like maybe you are holding on and carrying shame in your heart. Maybe you've been holding on to phrases from your past. I know I do sometimes. Just the other day I did. And this was probably like, I don't know, at least 10, 15 years ago. I don't know, a long time ago. But being highly sensitive or even being kind of in that category, even if you're just a little bit more sensitive sometimes, that can be a gift. But also, like, don't hide yourself. We're always learning things about ourselves and changing and growing every day. This is the first time any of us have lived here on earth. So that's another reminder as well. Like maybe this is your permission slip to continue to grow, like continue to understand and continue what God has for our lives, and even with others, and our next steps, and who we reach in life. And I pray that you feel seen. That's part of my mission here on the podcast, is like I want everyone to feel seen and know there's hope. And It's okay to get a little too excited sometimes, or even all the time. I don't know. But I mean, there's a time and place for everything. But it's okay to feel down. It's okay to feel. And again, like God knows your heart and He knows you. He sees you. He loves you. And you don't have to carry the highs and the lows alone. There will be highs, there will be lows, especially if you feel all the feelings. And that's okay. Okay. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just a part of human and it's part of you. So I want to just pray with you as we end our time today. And again, I hope you found this really helpful or valuable, or even in the slightest, even if you've learned something. Lord, I pray for the one listening today that you are with them in the fight. You are with them in the highs and lows, with every raw emotion, even when we question, even when we doubt, or even doubt the way we're made or wired. Lord, guide us along our journey and help us shine light on our strengths, not our weaknesses. Remind us that we are uniquely made, and give us peace. Give us your peace. Free us from, internal wounds we may be holding on to or suffering from. We trust you, Lord, with every move we make and every feeling that we feel. You are with us. Amen. Thank you so much for listening to the Mental Fight podcast today. I pray that it was encouraging and helpful. I pray you have a wonderful, wonderful